This press briefing has been called to present to the media and the nation the response of the civil society organizations and individuals represented here to the most recent developments in the ongoing constitutional amendment process, as announced by the Minister of Justice at a press briefing on Friday, 12 June 2020. At his press briefing, the Minister of Justice, Given Lubinda, announced that government had gazetted the proposed amendments to the Constitutional Amendment Bill 10 of 2019. The minister stated that the gazetting was intended to assure citizens that the recommendations of the Parliamentary Select Committee, constituted to receive submissions from the public on Bill 10, would be incorporated into the bill. The minister, therefore, sought to suggest to the public that the gazetting of the changes was only so that the resolutions of the Select Committee were incorporated into Bill 10. Following the publication of the proposed changes to Bill 10, as provided by the Minister to our partner organizations that attended the press conference, the CSOs represented here carried out a preliminary review of the proposed changes, reading the shared document against the original Bill 10, the recommendations of the Select Committee, as well as the 2016 amendment of the Constitution. Our study of the document unfortunately revealed that the minister was not being honest with the public on both the intentions and the content of the proposed changes to Bill 10. Our reading of the draft changes has sadly found that they maintain the unstated objective of Bill 10, which is to weaken Zambia's democracy and its vital institutions, especially Parliament. It is particularly disturbing to note that the proposed changes include new clauses which were not part of the original Bill 10 or the Select Committee resolutions. Many of these new changes are detrimental to democracy beyond the harm already proposed in Bill 10. We cite only a few examples. On Parliament, the minister makes the following changes that were not proposed by the Parliamentary Select Committee. A. Article 47 is amended to allow Parliament to prescribe how the mixed-member electoral system will be implemented. That is to say, Parliament will decide how it will itself be elected and operate. On this, the Parliamentary Select Committee recommended that the mixed-member system be adopted for election to the National Assembly, but emphasized that this mixed-member electoral system should be clearly defined in the Constitution and not an act of Parliament, as the Minister of Justice proposes. Further, the Minister proposes that Article 68, that sets out the election and numbers of members of Parliament, should be repealed and this be prescribed by an act of Parliament. Regarding this, the Select Committee stated, and we quote, "The committee is of the view that the composition of the National Assembly, including the number of members of Parliament, is fundamental and should not be relegated to an act of Parliament where it can be easily revised. The committee therefore recommends that the provisions of Article 68 should be retained in the Constitution in order to be insulated from frequent amendments." The Minister of Justice includes a totally new sub-article that was not in the original Bill 10, in the Select Committee report, or even the 2016 amendment. The minister proposed that a member of Parliament lose their seat if they are convicted of an offence and sentenced to death or imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months by whatever term. This issue was not in Bill 10 and therefore not discussed in the Select Committee. Civil society would like to repeat that Parliament is a creature of the Constitution. It cannot be allowed to create and change itself at will. That would make Parliament a creature of the ruling party, that would make Parliament a creature of the ruling party whose members could change the Constitution via a simple majority vote. Allowing Parliament to easily change its own makeup would also make elections academic. Regarding the new clause C, We would like to state that it is totally unacceptable that the minister would be inserting new clauses into the Constitution at this point, which have not been subjected to public debate, while claiming to be amending the controversial Bill 10 in accordance to public sentiment as presented to the Parliamentary Committee. It is also worrying that this clause seeks to make it very easy for MPs to be removed from Parliament by use of trumped-up charges that can lead to a suspended sentence. Number two, the minister proposes ministers and MPs stay in office during an election against the expressed sentiments of the public and the recommendation of the committee that proposed that Parliament should be dissolved 60 days before an election, but MPs receive their emoluments for their full term. In this proposal, the minister goes against one of the issues that have been central to the public's rejection of Bill 10. Number three, and finally, the proposed changes reduce the mayoral term from 5 years to 2.5 years, again making a new proposal not suggested by the public or the Select Committee. We have presented only a few examples of the many problematic changes to an already problematic Bill 10 made by the Minister of Justice. We have done so in order to reassert our position that the current amendment of the Constitution has the objective of weakening Zambia's democracy and is steeped in continuing bad will and dishonesty. It is for this reason that the civil society organizations represented here reiterate our position that Bill 10, however named, should be withdrawn. If Zambia needs to address lacuna in the 2016 amendments, as agreed by the public, this should be done via a new process that sets out only the clauses needing addressing. Zambians have not asked for a fundamental review of their constitution and have certainly not asked for this constitutional confusion. We therefore call on all members of Parliament to save Zambia from the harm intended by this constitutional amendment and reject Bill 10, however presented. On behalf of Action Aid, Caritas Zambia, Gears Initiative Zambia, Fumba Chama, I present this to you. Thank you.